What is the female reproductive system? The female reproductive system is made up of the internal and external sex organs that function in the reproduction of new offspring. In humans, the female reproductive system is immature at birth and develops to maturity at puberty to be able to produce gametes and to carry a fetus to full term. The female reproductive system has the main parts. They are vagina, uterus, ovaries, and fallopian tube. The vagina or birth canal, it joins the cervix to the outside of the body. There are two openings in the vulva or vagina. The vaginal opening and the opening to the urethra, ang butas kung saan lumalabas ang ihi. The urethral opening is the tiny hole that you pee out of, located just below your clitoris. The clitoris is the pleasure center of vulva. The second part is uterus or womb. It is a hollow pear shape that is home to a developing fetus divided into two parts. The uterus is located within the pelvic region, immediately behind and almost overlying the bladder, and in front of the sigmoid colon. The pelvic region of the trunk is the lower part of the trunk between the abdomen and the thighs. The pelvic region of the female and the male are different. Female pelvis, the lower part of the abdomen, is located between the hip bones in a female. The female sacrum is wider than the male's, and the iliac bone is flatter. The pelvic basin of the female is more spacious and less funnel-shaped than the male's. The uterus has three parts. They are fundus, cervix, and corpus. Fundus is the top portion opposite from the cervix. Fundal height, measured from the top of the pubic bone, is routinely measured in pregnancy to determine growth rates. The fundus plays an important role because it stores both undigested food and gases that are released during the process of chemical digestion, and the cervix, the lower part of the opening in the vagina. The cervix performs two main functions. It facilitates the passage of sperm into the uterine cavity. This is achieved via dilation of the external and internal ovaries. Corpus, main body of the uterus that easily expands to hold the developing. The corpus luteum is essential for establishing and maintaining pregnancy in females. The corpus luteum secretes progesterone, which is a steroid hormone responsible for the decidualization of the endometrium, its development, and maintenance respectively. The third part is ovaries. It is small oval-shaped glands that are located on either side of the uterus. It produces eggs and hormones. Ovaries produce and release two groups of sex hormones. They are progesterone and estrogen. There are actually three major estrogens known as estradiol, estrone, and estriol. These substances work together to promote the healthy development of female sex characteristics during puberty and to ensure fertility. Progesterone is an endogenous steroid and progestogen sex hormone involved in menstrual cycle, pregnancy, and embryogenesis of humans and other species. It belongs to a group of steroid hormones called the progestogens and is the major progestogen in the body. Progesterone assists in endometrial growth and inhibition of FSH and LH release. FSH stimulates development of egg cells called ova, which develop in structures called follicles. Follicle cells produce the hormones inhibin, which inhibits FSH production. LH also plays a role in the development of ova, induction of ovulation, and the stimulation of estradiol and progesterone production by the ovaries. Estradiol and progesterone are asteroids that prepare the body for pregnancy. Estradiol produces secondary sex characteristics in females, while both estradiol and progesterone regulate the menstrual cycle. The progesterone helps to regulate your cycle, but its main job is to get your uterus ready for pregnancy after you ovulate each month. Progesterone helps thicken the lining of the uterus to prepare for a fertilized egg. If there is no fertilized egg, progesterone levels drop and menstruation begins. Progesterone is used to help prevent changes in the uterus or womb in women who are taking conjugated estrogens after menopause. It is also used to properly regulate the menstrual cycle and treat unusual stopping of menstrual periods in women who are still menstruating. Estrogen is a category of sex hormone responsible for the development and regulation of the female reproductive system and secondary sex characteristics. In females, it helps develop and maintain both the reproductive system and female characteristics, such as breast and pubic hair. Estrogen contributes to cognitive health, bone health, the function of the cardiovascular system, and other essential bodily processes. And the last part is fallopian tube. It is narrow tubes that are attached to the upper part of the uterus and serve as tunnel for the ova, or egg cells, to travel from the ovaries to the uterus. It is where conception or the fertilization of an egg by a sperm occurs. The fallopian tube is described four parts lateral to medial. They are ampulla, isthmus, infundibulum, fimbriae. Ampulla is widest section of the uterine tubes. Fertilization usually occurs here. Isthmus, narrow section of the uterine tubes connecting the ampulla to the uterine cavity. The ampulla is typically where the sperm are met and fertilization occurs. The isthmus is a small region only about 2 cm long that connects the ampulla and fundibulum to the uterus. The ovarian extremity of the uterine tubes form the infundibulum, which is the portion of the uterine tube responsible for capturing the oocyte expelled from the ovary. Infundibulum catches and channels the released eggs. It is the white distal outermost portion of each fallopian tube. And the last is fimbriae, finger-like ciliated projections which capture the ovum from the surface of the ovary. The main function of fimbriae of the fallopian tube in females is to help in collection of the ovum after ovulation.
Male reproductive system. The male reproductive system consists of a number of sex organs that play a role in the process of human reproduction. These organs are located on the outside of the body and within the pelvis. I have 5 example parts of male reproductive system. These are penis, scrotum, vas deferens, urethra, and prostate gland. Penis, for sexual intercourse where semen contains sperm is expelled or ejaculated. Scrotum, the loose pouch-like sac of skin that hangs behind the penis which contains the testicles. Vas deferens, a sperm-carrying duct, especially of a higher vertebrate that in the human male is a thick-walled tube about 2 feet long that begins at and is continuous with the tail of epididymis and eventually joins the duct of the seminal vesicle to form the ejaculatory duct. Urethra, tube that carries urine from the bladder to outside of the body. Prostate gland, a walnut-sized structure that is located below the urinary bladder in front of the rectum.
What is nervous system? The nervous system is the major controlling, regulatory, and communicating system in the body. It is the center of all mental activity, including thought, learning, and memory. Together with the endocrine system, the nervous system is responsible for regulating and maintaining homeostasis. Example of nervous system. For example, if you touch a hot plate, you reflexively pull back your hand and your nerves simultaneously send pain signals to your brain. Meaning parts of the nervous system. The nervous system has 2 main parts. The central nervous system is made up of the brain and spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system is made up of nerves that branch off from the spinal cord and extend to all parts of the body. The roles of the endocrine system includes growth, repair, digestion, homeostasis, and sexual reproduction. Reproductive hormones are usually made in the testes in males and ovaries in females. Male reproductive hormones, testosterone, help develop and maintain male sex characteristics and help male sperm in the testes. Female reproductive hormones include estrogen and progesterone. They help develop and maintain female sex characteristics and play an important role in the menstrual cycle, fertility, and pregnancy. The thyroid gland and parathyroid glands are located in front of the neck, below the larynx. The thyroid plays an important role in the body's metabolism. The parathyroid glands plays an important role in the regulation of the body's calcium balance. An adrenal gland is located on top of each kidney. Like many glands, the adrenal glands work hand in hand with the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. The adrenal glands make and release corticosteroid hormones and epinephrine that maintains blood pressure and regulate metabolism. The pancreas is located across the back of the abdomen behind the stomach. The pancreas plays a role in digestion as well as hormone production. Hormones produced by the pancreas include insulin and glucagon, which regulate levels of blood sugar. A woman's ovaries are located on both sides of the uterus below the opening of the fallopian tubes. In addition to containing the egg cells necessary for reproduction, the ovaries also produce estrogen and progesterone. A man's testes are located in a pouch that hangs suspended outside the male body. The testes produce testosterone and sperm.